My name is Abigail Feldman. It's September 24th, 2002. It's around 3:15 in the afternoon. To start, my days prior to September 11th were really hard. I had a really hard summer and actually a really hard year. And, I was pretty much just worn out. And I had just moved, and I moved to Greenpoint, and I had a great view of lower Manhattan. And that was one of the selling points that my landlord gave was, oh, you see the World Trade Towers, that's great. And like the weekend before September 11th, there were fireworks, and I meant to take a picture of it, but I said, oh, I'll just do it July 4th, they'll still be there. So, and they're not. And September 11th in the morning, I was getting ready for my job, and probably around the time when I saw the fireworks, I had seen the movie Hannibal, and they were talking about the FBI most wanted list, and it's a movie, and they were panning around to it, and they focused on Osama bin Laden's face, and then they panned down to Hannibal Lecter's face. And I thought that morning, looking at the World Trade Center, was why were they focusing on his face? What kind of statement were they making? Kissed my cat goodbye, went to work, and got on the wrong bus, and all these things happened, and I eventually made it to work, and I probably heard the planes hit the building, and I probably heard fire trucks, but I just didn't put two and two together, because when you live in New York, you just kind of absorb all these things. You take things for granted, and I just did that, and I'm kind of glad I did, because my story might have been different from what it is now. So, and the only thing I was really concerned about was getting to work and to mail my taxes. And I did that, and I went to work, and I was working for Joseph Hellman Gallery and in his warehouse. And it's on West 26th Street and in between West Side Highway and 11th Avenue. And there's two elevator banks, and I normally went to the one on the left because I said, like, oh, that one's faster. But today, I was thinking, I want my life to be different. So little did I know. So I went to the one on the right, and there was tons of people, and I'm waiting for the elevator, and this woman comes running over, and she's really nicely dressed, and she's pushing the elevator button like crazy, and she's just really really insane. And I was like, man, she's late for a meeting. And she said, oh my God, a plane just hit the World Trade Center. And I'm like, yeah, right. And, I went to the other elevator bank, and, I went up and I saw the planes. And as I'm going up in the elevator, the guy said, oh yeah, a second plane hit the building. And I'm like, yeah, like I knew what was going on. But when I saw it, when I first saw the World Trade Center buildings after they'd been hit, I probably just missed the second plane going into the building. Thank God, I'm glad I didn't see that. I think I would have been more warped from it. But when I first saw it, I wasn't scared, and I was just really confused, and my first reaction was like, well, that's not right. Oh, that looks really bad. And I didn't even put, like, the human element. I didn't really put, like, people are in that building as opposed to, like, that building was hit. And all along, all I could hear were sirens, because we were right near Chelsea Piers, and they had trucks lining up, like ambulances and fire trucks, and they were going in batches. So I'm watching this pretty much the whole morning. And, I was really unfocused. I'm in this art warehouse, and I'm supposed to be wrapping up art, and I'm like, should I go on with my life? Should I not go on with my life? I was really confused, and we're listening to the radio, we're listening to all these horrible things, and no one really knew what was going on that day, including myself. So I'm, getting really nervous, and people are walking into our warehouse, which we'd normally not let them do because, we have to protect the artwork that was in this warehouse. And, they had left, and my coworker was on the phone in the back, like, talking to his aunt, and I'm trying to, like, get things done. I'm trying to focus on what's, going on. And all of a sudden, on the radio, I hear this woman going, oh my God, the building's falling down. And I whip my head around because we had a south view of a perfect view of what was going on. And I saw the buildings fall down, the first building fall down. And I thought, oh my God, what is happening? And it was just, that's when I became scared. I think that was the first time I was really, really, really scared. And in between the first and the second building falling down, I was pretty much sick, like for about like that half an hour. When I saw a little bit of the second building falling down, and I ran out of the room because I was like, I can't watch another one. I can't believe the next. But I knew that the next one was going to fall down. That was the strange thing. So the rest of the day, you know, I'm scared, and finally get a hold of my friends, and, you know, the way that my mother was contacted was I called my boyfriend at the time's sister, and I said, Adi, call your mother in Israel, and, you know, say that you're okay, and please tell her that I'm okay. And then my mother found out because she called my boyfriend's mother in Israel, and my boyfriend's mother in Israel said that I was okay in New York because the phones were so screwed up, that's kind of funny. But after I finally got in touch with my mother, and, you know, I stayed with my friend Anu that night, and in the East Village. I didn't want to go back to Brooklyn, and, you know, it was just like a horrible, horrible feeling. Like I didn't even know what to feel. It was just kind of weird, and I think because of my hard summer and my hard year, I was just really numb, and like the only thing I could do like after September 11th was just basically like walk around and walk and walk and walk. I think I walked for about like a month straight because my job like was let go, and basically one day, a month after September 11th, October 11th, I walked into Here's New York. I'd heard about it on Fresh Air, Terry Gross on National Public Radio, and they said, oh, this gallery's great, and I just decided I had to be a part of this, and I'm still here. I'm still at Here's New York a year later, and I've done a lot of the prints, and I've become very intimate with most of the images of September 11th and a lot of the images that have been submitted to Here's New York. And now it's strange. A year afterwards, I'm not nearly as numb anymore. I can actually get upset about things, and I'm hearing more stories. I'm actually able to put that human element back into the buildings, you know, it was really hard for me in the beginning, and you know, I've just been, you know, inundated with September 11th for this whole entire year. And it's been an interesting and really wonderful experience coming out of this horrible experience. And I don't know. It's been hard, and I think I've become obsessed with this subject matter. I think that anybody who works in the 9/11 business, I guess you can call it that, becomes pretty much obsessed with stuff, and things get done very quickly. And now that it's a year later, you know, it's easier to reflect in a way. I mean, the memories are harder, but it's easier to put them and organize them into one place. So I think that's why I was able to tell my story today.